This is this story right here.
These are the faces of the 244 men and women charged with exploiting children for the purpose of sex trafficking or pornography. It's the end of a month-long investigation by federal and local law enforcement of a crime that authorities say is a year-round problem.
The numbers of offenders arrested and the children rescued in this operation are stunning. It's stunning to hear them repeated here.
109 children were rescued by Operation Soteria Shield, which began in April.
During this operation, many of the children recognized or rescued were previously unidentified. They had never been reported missing. They had never had their abuse known to authorities.
The operation not only led to arrests and rescues, but also to the seizure of terabytes of child abuse sex material through a collaborative effort that started 10 years ago and now includes 70 Texas law enforcement agencies.
What started as a small team with a bold idea has grown into something very powerful.
In a lot of these cases, authorities say the sex offenders never actually meet their victims face to face, but instead use technology to coerce them into sending explicit images and videos. The head of the Dallas FBI office says the methods used are not just involving social media, but also online gaming systems.
So I think for many of us, I'll speak for my generation, we were raised to be concerned about faceless strangers that might try to contact
109 children.
That's crazy.
And you got 244 arrests. You notice what they didn't do?
What?
Get close-ups of the perpetrators and name names. They said you got a two, and you ain't gonna name one name. You ain't gonna show one close-up of the mugshot to show who this is, what their name is. See how you see?
Well, 109 is a lot of people.
Well, 244 got arrested. They found 109 children.
But 244.
244 got arrested. 109 children was found. Out of 244 arrests, you ain't did no close up to show face and name.
Yeah, well, I guess you could. Well, how you put that on the screen though? 240,
easy.
244 is gonna be a little small.
I'm saying you could do a slideshow because this ain't number editing.
Well, maybe they should have just did this. Well, we're gonna post another video of all the names and faces so y'all can just go through it like that.
They should have made that. Yeah, I know this is just one clip, but and they have been having this problem in Ohio, Texas, Atlanta now is one of a big trafficking rings as well.
Down I-20.
And you must ask, how is the government not aware of this if they're not in on this?
They're definitely in on it.
Because you got 70 police agencies, as they say there in Texas, 70 that's involved, and this is a 10-year operation where it started 10 years ago. How many children have they not found?
A lot. They probably try pilot this times 10 at 109.
Yeah.
Thousands of kids buried, murdered, dismembered. Like when we see that video of them finding the 18-wheeler, the dismembered baby bodies in the trailer.
Yeah.
When you see that, they was talking about all the migrants that was coming over the border, and then when they would capture them with kids, they would run the blood test, and the guy and the child is not related whatsoever. So you just bring a random child across the border?
Exactly.
So you trying to sell this child, or you trying to pimp it out, or you in Mexico, this is your, sex toy or whatever. You trying to bring this sex toy with you. So, and then like they said, what they was talking about camps of children at the border, and they was talking about how they can't find the parents. So where do those kids go? You got they said they estimated 30 million people came across that border. How many millions of kids that came across that border? They ain't got kids, parents too. And you got to think about it, this was during the Biden administration. We don't hear shit else about them kids in the camps now.
It's crazy, and that's why I say it's all a racket, because they can't get over here unless somebody is going over there advocating and influence them to come this way.
Right.
You got these people been staying in Mexico and other cities their whole life. What would be the draw, the influence, or the persuasive conversation would say, well, we're going to go across this border knowing it's illegal? You see what I'm saying? Who's coming over here translating and mediating this shit?
Well, Joe Biden said on the screen, we welcoming y'all.
Yeah, but come through the legal pathways.
No,
then
he
if
was
that's the
saying
case.
like as on some refugee shit. It wasn't like come legally. It was like, hey, the borders open, come on, and then that was posted. Then you remember they just started showing caravans of just people coming. All from Venezuela. I'm like, damn, they trekking that far.
Oh yeah, and they did have some leaked stuff. I don't know if I sent it to you, where they was talking about the president, whoever down there, prime minister of Venezuela, said they were ordered and requested to have those prisoners released.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so you got to think about it. And people got to remember this. In Mexico, in those Mexican cities, those criminals are way worse than here in America.
That's facts. Y'all think black on black crime will sliding and missing people, shooting with his eyes closed. These folks chopping heads off,
right,
and filming it, blowing up, baby. They doing, man. Y'all think y'all ain't no goddamn gangsters.
We're getting the worst of the worst when we start to see all, and they keep it on the hush. They ain't talking about it a lot, but they had the black lady that just got killed by the two migrants. She got raped and kidnapped.
Yeah.
You had now you got your Riley gangs and initiatives. You know, she was out running and a migrant got her, raped her. We got all of these videos of these migrants. They got like little videos. You can look for them and find them of migrants or illegals raping women like crazy. You know, in their country, that's a thing over there. They ain't going to jail for raping and stuff like that over there. That's so right. They coming over here with that same mindset. And see, that's the part about America that's stupid. Because you try, the reason you can have a country and you don't have a lot of crime and violence in certain countries is because culturally we all think the same. We all have kind of the same beliefs. Like I said, we go to a Muslim country, it's Muslim. You're not finna come over here and spread no Christianity. You're not finna do none of that shit. Your ass gonna get killed. Point blank period.
It's a reason.
So when you talk about America as a melting pot, and you got Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, Christians, then you got all the different type of denominations: Baptist, non-denominational, Protestant, Methodist, Latter-day Saints. Even just with the Christianity, you got 45 different sects of Christianity. Then you got the Mormons. You got, like we said, we could put a whole bunch of different religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs out there that's in America. That shit is stupid.
And convince them that their way is the way. There's 45 of y'all up under this, but your way is the true way.
Right.
It's crazy.
Y'all speak in tongues. We don't believe in speaking in tongues. That's crazy. Well, that's what our belief is. We all crazy if you want to be honest. We all try to believe is some big man in the sky that's
sky daddy.
You know, so like I said, we all believe in something that we technically can't prove.
And we are denied the shit that we can. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
Facts here. That ain't true. Where's your source?
Right.
What? Where's your source on the shit you believe? You don't have no evidence. I got a little bit of evidence.
Right.
Which it's just crazy, man. I think, like I said, and again, this week we're gonna make sure we load y'all up with quality substance-filled content, because we're gonna get into the public education system again. Well, again, you have a lot of people that are refusing to participate in society, in the societal norms, from marriage, your 9-to-5 work culture. That's going to be a thing of the past. All of this stuff is crumbling before your eyes, yet you're going to be the last to know because you're waiting on a headline to tell you what's going on.
Right.
You know, it's going on right now.
And that's what's scary. Your children getting fed bullshit, taught bullshit, kidnapped, raped. You got motherfucking grown adults out here, don't know if they coming and going, they ain't got no job, they stressed out. Like I said, I don't understand how you can have millions of motherfuckers throughout the day. I'm at work, I'm asleep during the day, but I work overnight. I'm just thinking about how y'all ain't got no job. So that's why I know a lot of these motherfuckers paid. I ain't gotta guess a wonder. I know. I would say 80% of the people out there paid.
You got that. You got the non-profits, which ain't number money cipher, money washing vehicles, and they getting funding. Well, we got this. Well, we're gonna send y'all 50,000 for them chairs y'all need to do. Y'all ain't buying no motherfucking chairs.
Right. But they just already said they had another. They just came out like 3 days ago. Said it was right before the Saturday rise or whatever protest, and it was like some CP something like that. That's what been a nonprofit organization that was giving money to help the migrants or the illegals and the protesting and stuff. And it's like, why y'all keep funneling money for that bullshit? Like if y'all, this is a real shit. If y'all can do that. Y'all can do that for people that ain't citizens and niggas been asking for reparations this long.
This case is going to, and I hope it's going to be more that comes about as far as the names, organizations these people tied to, because you don't get 109 children that you find in one place. That is a lot of people to put in a room. If we put 100 people in here, it'll be packed.
Oh yeah, 100 people couldn't fit in here.
Yeah, it'll be packed. Yeah. It'll have to be in every room. But to find 109 children, and they saying it ain't even no missing reports
of these kids.
Yeah, I say a lot of them in the report say it ain't even it wasn't no file, no police reports filed.
See, my thing is, and this I know they don't want to victimize the victims with showing us, but I want to know what the kids look like.
A lot of them more likely gonna be Hispanic. You're gonna have some black.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see if they Hispanic or if they white or if they black, and that's another telltale sign of what's going on too.
Yeah.
Because if you show me, like I said, if I can see a bunch of Hispanics, y'all getting these kids from over the border.
They undocumented. So if you try to file a police report, we don't have none on file to a profile.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't even know who this is. And like I say, it's all the game. When you start hearing stuff, and that goes just back to the conspiracy theory stuff. When you hear about all these politicians supposedly got underground tunnels and rituals, drinking children blood. Like, I don't know if it's real, but like I said, where there's smoke is fire. And then when you start seeing all these people in these industries like the music and then the movies, and you hear these child stars grow up and say, well, they did this and they did that and they did it to other people, and then you see they ties and to like these companies and these Jewish people and just the government. It's like, bruh, y'all are sick, perverted. I'm just saying this, it ain't no reason for these people with the time that had to be kicked out of 109 countries. Because every time they go to a country, people say, yeah, y'all degenerate. Yeah. And we starting to see it in America. You mean to tell me y'all telling people they can cut their dicks off and be a woman?
And funding it.
And funding it.
What is it? Gender reassignment surgery?
Yes, and so much so that you can go to prison and get gender reassignment surgery.
From your tax dollars.
What?
Insane.
This is why I tell people we need to make straight jackets great again. Make straight jackets great again. Yeah. Open up these insane asylums. A lot of these people need to be locked up. A lot of these people need to be thrown away, locked up, throw away key. A lot of these people, and I think, was it Louisiana? One of the first states that do chemical castration now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need to have a lot more of that. A lot more chemical castration for people that do this. You got to think about it. To Catch a Predator, 30-year-old show.
And I think it was on the NFL network. Was it Pat McAfee or Tom? It was somebody, they said they showed the map and they pulled up all the sexual offenders in the area that's looking up child porn.
Yeah, Tim Tebow was talking about that.
Tim Tebow. Yeah. So that alone, we got a problem. Right. It's too much decadent consumption. Yeah. Decadence. Music, porn, booze, bullshit food. Yeah. Like I said, man, ain't no way in hell McDonald's supposed to have no goddamn line wrapped around in 2025. Ain't no way.
Right.
But
it is.
We're gonna definitely follow up on this child rape and abductions that's been going on, because this is an under discussed topic. You got people missing children. That is very traumatizing to people, especially mothers and fathers. But mothers, the single mothers, because that's usually the targets, because ain't no man to protect. Come on, man.
You gotta think about this too. During the first Trump administration, they was having child bust like crazy. We didn't really see them under the Biden administration, but under the first Trump, and that's why I say, is this person trying to do good? Because we see a lot of child, bust, and that's what his wife supposedly is supposed to be over is, trying to go after sex offenders and children. So that's what his wife is supposed to be over.
Okay.
So like I said, when we start seeing stuff like this is what your administration is really focused on, is actually trying to do better. And you seeing what kids do, and he's actually spoken about a lot of this stuff even before running for president. So I just look at what a man has said for a long time, his actions lining up, and that's how I want to be judged. I don't want to be judged over no hearsay bullshit or motherfucker being able to come out and allow me. Even with the Stormy Daniels stuff, he said, powerful men have always been able to sleep with women. It is what it is.
That's a fact.
It ain't like he said nothing crazy. Wow, he got the money. She's already a porn star. And this is another thing I still hate. Even though we're talking about child sex stuff, I just don't like that we allow people who have these checkered backgrounds when it comes to what they do sexually to be able to make these claims. And we know you already get paid to do sexual acts already.
You are a porn star. What you talking about? You got sexually assaulted. You get paid to be not assaulted, but you're having this ain't really consensual. It's under the guise of the money,
right?
So you can't. We're not trusting your judgment anyway.
So that's why I say to be able to just come out and say that is a wild thing. So our next thing before we get up out of here.